speaks. Security on Cybertron has been breached. Destroy all intruders with rain. Acid rain.
Autobots, transform.
Hello everybody, welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and today I'll be reviewing Target exclusive Transformer Siege War for Cybertron Trilogy 3-packer of the Rainmakers. And in this 3-pack, the green jet is Seeker Acid Storm, this is Seeker Ion Storm, and this is Seeker Nova Storm. Best known from their appearance in the G1 cartoon. And in the G1 cartoon, they were just some background Decepticons. And the reason why they're a solid green, a solid blue, and a solid yellow is because the animators just didn't want to be bothered with drawing in like the detail, like the silver vents or white chest or whatever. So they just slapped on one complete color. It's not as if they were intended to be future characters or anything, but that's why they kind of look like big crayons or whatever, because the animators were lazy. That's my take on it. But I'm happy to have those guys. Everybody remembered them, and people wish we got them. We sort of got Nova Storm in a form of Sunstorm or whatever, but now the continuity is explaining that that's another character, and these are even more background guys. And as a kid, I wish I had more background guys to fill out the ranks of the Decepticons, and as an adult I actually created these guys right here. You'll see them in this review. Without further ado, we're going to take a look at the box. Giant window box packaging, and I thought it would have been more clever if they did it in a triangle. That way it didn't take up much room, and you turn the triangle and you see each Decepticon. But this giant long window box packaging takes up a lot of room if you want to display it in the box. And again, here there are names laid out for you. The side of the box, as I swing it around, you can see the 3 storms, Rainmakers, raining down, Cybertron, and here is the back of the box. This all looks CGI, computer generated. This isn't the actual product shot on the bag, not that it matters. And they tell you this guy's designated as S52, S53, and S54. Back of the box, nothing special. Side of the box, the same old, same old. So I'm going to get this guy open. I'm just going to slice the tape. And I want to share my unboxing experience with you in case you don't have it yet. You know what to expect, look forward to. And it's just fun unboxing a toy. And apparently I didn't cut the tape well. So slide them out. There's a little Cybertronian symbol glyph in the packaging. Don't see instructions immediately. Instructions are deep within. And I should need instructions the same as Starscream. And then this is the basic book. Here they are. These guys out. That's one. That's one way of doing it too. That's one guy out of here. A little bit more finesse as I go. And these colors, when I see them online and advertising, they look kind of annoying, but they really pop in person. The colors really look good in person. Okay, I got all 3 Rainmakers out of the package. You know, I like to say every toy has a story. It's not necessarily a history to that toy, but when you found it. I remember the day these things came out and everybody was buzzing about it and putting on social media. And I walk in the store and there they were. And I passed on them. Then they completely disappeared. And I was like, oh no. So then I was out searching for, doing a toy hunt for G1 reissue Soundwave at Walmart, and I was hitting all the little local stores. I call it the Grand Tour. I do the Grand Tour when I'm out toy hunting. Then I walk into the Target next to Walmart, and they had these guys. Right after I had found Soundwave, they had some Marvel Legends I had been looking for, and I was flat busted broke when I grabbed these guys. And the funny thing is, I didn't even open them and review them right away because I did that Soundwave review about a month and a half ago now. If you've seen my G1 Walmart Soundwave review. And I've had these guys all the time. Since then, I've come across these guys numerous times. So they're out. They're sitting on the shelf. A couple of them knocked over. So they're out now. And I know in some areas people don't get them and they might be like, they're not out near me. But near me, at every Target, they have them in stock near me in Southeast Michigan. So that's the little story behind these guys. When I finally grabbed them, I didn't have any money. I stressed my pockets to get them and then sat around and didn't review them until now. So taking a look at these guys, the sweet thing about these guys having wing articulation, you can adjust the wings and kind of give them a different personality. Like I've given them right here. Every one wing is different because they're all the same guy. Just to sort of kind of break it up. So I'm going to go for Ion Storm first because he's in the middle. And again, if you've seen Starscream, Skywarp, Thundercracker review, even that red guy, you're going to see the same thing. It's the same thing. I'm probably going to transform just one of them on camera and go over that. Pretty much what we're looking for is any differences in the mold, which I don't see any. Like all the heads are the same. Faces are the same. So we're probably going to look for quality. And right now I see like his little port is loose. I think his is too. No. The blue one, Ion Storm little port is loose right there. And it's not like that on this one. It's a little loose too, but not as bad as this side. That's real loose. So taking a look at the weathering, it's the exact same on all the guys. I believe it's the exact same from Starscream and the others. He has a light piping feature like all the rest of them. I don't know how well it works. You got to get the light directly over it. They all share that. And I'm going to go over articulation just in case this is your first time watching it. You're only watching it for these guys. So here we go. Get his arms up this far. They 360 on that shoulder hinge. And right here they have a hinge on top of the shoulder. Lets the arm go out like that. And you can get 360 this way as well. Bicep swivel will 360. He has a double jointed elbow bend to get his arm up that far. You can even come back a little bit if you want to with his arm broke like Mortal Kombat. And coming down to his wrist when it's not unhinging. It 360s, which is, that's another little QC thing. It should be, I should be able to turn the wrist without this coming loose. He felt a little funny taking him out. He really did. Hopefully it's just this one. And that little gun thing, yeah, that's real loose. And I know you can probably build it up, but you shouldn't have to. But it's loose. Come to his waist. His waist rotates this far. There's no type of crunch, but you can bend him at the waist like this if you wanted to give him some type of crunch. And coming to that waist, you can get his legs out from side to side. This far, and his guns just came off. Legs go that far side to side. Front to back this far. He can hit the hurdles. He has an upper thigh swivel right here at 360s. A great knee bend to get his knee up really far, like he's blasting off in robot mode. And coming down to his foot, have this little bit of articulation here for the transformation, and it can rock forward here. I think that's jet mode, and a little bit of side to side. His gun's back on him. So other than that, looking at the paint's done well. It's just some weathering on the plastic. Only true paint app is right here. That's just thrown on. I'll take that back. Got a paint app in here and a tiny Decepticon logo in there. Just present on all the guys. It's kind of harder to see on his blue. So I'm going to move on to Acid Storm with his bright green. I think this is the guy I'm most excited for out of this pack. Really like the color. And his missiles are better. Not a whole lot better, but they are definitely better. You could, like, yeah, you can see that. Like, it falls back down when I lift it up. His stays, it holds, definitely better. I think it's just that guy. All the same articulation. Pretty much all the same paint apps. Yeah, like the Decepticon logos are in the same place. This is painted the same. They hit it with the same thing there. The vents, intakes are painted gray. I don't know if I mentioned that. The translucent cockpit looks great. So yeah, it's the same. I don't know what to say moving forward, but it's the same coming. This guy, just check his quality. Oh, he feels a lot tighter than the other guys. A lot. Let me see. Did I raise his arms up? Yeah, it's like he's the tightest than this one out of my set. Back to this guy. Check his null ray. That one's coming out. Yeah, it's a lot better. It's not falling back down. See how it feels running through that articulation. 360 the head. Feels good. I don't know if I 360 Ion Storm's head. Look up that far. Look down that far. Double elbow bend. Feels pretty good. See if I turn his hand without it coming loose. Yep, I can turn his hand without the transformation panel coming loose. Check this guy out. See if I can turn this hand without his transformation panel coming loose. Nope. There it is. I think the hand is just super tight because it's hard to rotate, but you can do it, but that's coming loose. But on this one, it just feels super tight. See how it's just, when I turn it, it's just opening up at the hinge. Maybe this hinge is too weak. Maybe it's too tight. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know. Let's try it on this side. Stays on this side. Maybe it's just this arm. Let's try his other arm here. Yep. I think it's just super tight at this hinge. I think over time, well, I'm not going to play with that much, but it can be loosened up and this can be built up and tightened up. But yeah, that's happening. So yeah, a little bit of QC on these guys. And coming to his legs, see how that feels. Very stiff, very nice. Out to the splits like that, very nice, very stiff. No problem with the lower leg. It's just that panel on the arm for these guys and his port for that missile. Or it could be the connector piece that's not that tight. Other than that, the joints feel good other than that. Okay, I'm only going to transform one of these guys on camera because anything else would be redundant. I'm going to go Acid Storm because I think he was my favorite. Over the years, he's become one of my favorite characters. So anyway, not to bore the hell out of you with that. Get this guy transformed. I'm going to disconnect his pylons behind his back and shoulder area. Rotate these things down. Those are pretty stiff. Then I'm going to come to his head and bring up this panel. The panel behind his head. I don't understand this thing. I guess it works because it really doesn't hide or cover anything. But, and it sort of has a little bit of morphing into it with the front chest piece. But you plug this panel into the back of your Seeker's head. Then you rotate it back. Then you have to loosen this up to get this to unhinge and tuck away. So that's loosened up. Then I'm going to come to his arms and just accordion. Wait, open this up first. Put the fist away. You don't have to do it in this order, but put the fist away. Then just accordion the arms. Open up this panel that loved to come open a minute ago. Rotate the hands. Rotate the hands in. And then sing that song once again on this side. Let's accordion that up. Spin the waist around. And you pretty much have it. So close the feet up. Bend these around and fold the legs up. And there's a little spring-loaded thing right here that half the time doesn't work and you got to push on it anyway. Get the legs back behind them. And it's important, you know if you're doing it right when the pegs, these are on the outside of the leg because the arms peg into there. Okay, bring the shell down. And speaking of which, let's get this. On one side, there's 3 holes. And these 2 outer holes. Oh, do I got this right? Wait, these 2 holes right here peg into the side of his legs. That way you know that they're positioned correctly. Same thing on this side. Take the 2 holes and peg them into the sides of his legs. Then these shells come down. Then there are 3 holes right here, but 2 pegs peg into the outer holes. You know that you have that correct. Same thing on both sides. And sometimes you gotta like fiddle with it a little bit to get it to go in correctly. Sometimes the knees aren't back all the way. Oh, and put these panels in. Let me close this up. These two giant obvious tabs go together, and you get this panel inside here, inside there. Bring this down, shell down to meet the arm. Okay, jack that up. And I actually did it without taking the weapons off, because you don't have to take the weapons off. Oddly enough, the legs don't lock together. They kind of just sit out. And I don't keep the weapons here. They're just a little low for me. Bring them up here. Now we're parts forming. The weapons up here. Oh, jack this panel. That panel's in there. And again, these guys feel a lot tighter than Starscream. Well, transformation-wise anyway. Tighter than Starscream. And I didn't have a problem with this. You just saw this didn't pop off like with Starscream or whatever. So they improved it, corrected it, or whatever for this mode. And here he is, all transformed. And to go over his articulation in this mode, there's not much. The cannons can move. The cannons can be unported and reported, like I just showed you. I don't know if we can get it in right here. No. But the cannons go in a couple different places. You can put two on one side if you chose to. And further articulation, his little booster things, you can move these around. And again, I'm not sure if you're supposed to, but you can, like he's thrusting up. So these have articulation in his secret jet mode, or what is it called? Tetrajet mode. I think that's it. The cockpit does not open. The canopy does not open. It would have been cool if it did, even if it didn't reveal anything. Oh, and back here, I didn't snap this in. There's some pegs back here, obviously, right there. And just gotta position them. And that's that. It has little boosters right here. And the cartoon animation for the G1, he just had one booster right here. I guess due to the way it transformed, they couldn't do that, or maybe they just weren't even trying to get it like that. So anyway, when we get the rest of these guys transformed, be right back. Okay, so here they all are in their vehicle mode, their Tetrajet mode. And this guy, the null ray fell off pretty easy while I was transforming out of his arm socket. On this guy, it wasn't as bad as this one, but came off pretty easy. Other than that, I didn't have any problems transforming them. They're all nice and stiff, all three of them. The joints, other than where the weapons port in, no looseness to report on these guys. And they really, really look great. I'm happy to get these repaints. Companies make a lot of money on repaints, but they don't pass down the money they save on just repainting the toy to us. We still paying max price. I think, you know what, in this 3 set, I think it was like $10 cheaper than if they were individual. I think what they $30 a piece. I think they were $79.99 in a 3-pack. So they were $10 cheaper than if they were all individual. So but they made up for that on Skyward by putting them in that big box set with the Battle Masters that no one really wants. So I think they got that money right back. So okay, to start my comparison in this mode, I want to compare Ion Storm to Thundercracker because they're both blue, and it's like, if you've got one, why would you want the other one? The blue is actually different. This guy has a lighter blue and a gray. He's a darker blue and black and red. But the weathering on all these guys is exactly the same. It's in the exact same spots is what I mean. Sometimes it's gunmetal or silver, depending on which color the jet is, but it's all the same. I think that kind of sucks. They should have switched it up a little bit. It's slightly different. Like the strokes are broader, but the stuff is in the exact same spots and everything. It's the same. But this is the main difference between these two guys because they're so close with the blue. None of the other jets share the colors like these guys do. Now from the back, front, and from the side. So you can see the differences. Okay, I want to do a couple G1 comparison to these guys. Sort of kind of their G1 incarnation. back here, well, I'm starting in the front. Ion Storm, what I used to call Thunderstorm. This was my custom job. Basically, I took a Sunstorm and put his parts on a Thundercracker and painted it white. It's still a work in progress. I've been tinkering with it for years. I kind of left it unfinished. There's a few things I want to do. I want to change some of the stickers, but so this was my G1 take on this guy, which we later got in Cybertronian mode. So basically, like, this was a reissue Thundercracker. I think the Encore reissue when he came in a 2-pack with Skywarp, and I'm still tinkering with it. Like I said, he's got some Sunstorm parts on him. So these are the two guys side by side, G1 and Earth mode and Cybertron mode. And I'm going to go on to Nova Storm and Sunstorm. These have been defined as two different characters now. There's two different yellow jets on Cybertron. And actually this one is more of an orange, but in the cartoon and the comics he leaned towards the yellow, but this is as close as I got to a comparison. And this is, well, I want to call him a reissue, but the first issue is reissue body of Starscream, but official Sunstorm by Takar, G1 style. So these are these two, and Acid Storm and Acid Rain. Yeah, the guy, this is Acid Storm, and I've been calling him Acid Rain for years. This is a G2 Starscream, and I actually dyed his body with Rit dye to get this green color because I didn't want to just be a paint over. I wanted to get it green. I got a few more guys I dyed that were to more success later on than this, and I painted over it green. It's got some chipping on it. But these are my G1 take on these guys comparison. Okay, I got all three back in their robot mode, and I'm going to bring in the G1 guys in their bot mode and kind of get these guys side by side for a little bit of comparison. Got everybody in. Let me see. Here is your fascia from G1. The other two Tetra Jets that I have, Starscream and Thundercracker. See how these guys look together? This is how they scale with Jetfire. He's a lot larger than these guys. Guys, here is Ultra Magnus. Next to these guys, bring in Optimus, of course. These guys, and how about Springer? Just to see how they look shoulder to shoulder. So to wrap this toy review up, I want to let you guys know I'm thrilled to have this repaint. A lot of times I don't go for repaints too easy, but I was hoping they made these and made them, and I actually love them. They have a slight tolerance issue with the little ports on the blue and the yellow guy, at least on my set, with the port being a little bit loose for the guns on the left hand side of the figures. Other than that, the green guy's solid all the way around. The green guy, Acid Storm, Ion Storm, Nova Storm. And they're at Target right now. Definitely worth the pickup. You're collecting this line. They are awesome. And being a G1 head that I am, I'm so happy they made these guys and finally get the background Decepticons. I wish they had continued doing them in the G1 when we got Sunstorm, but they like one and done. But a lot of people also wish they had made Thrust Dirge and Ramjet instead of these guys. I kind of wish we had got them all, but if I had to choose between the Rainmakers and Thrust Dirge and Ramjet, I would go with these guys because I always wanted them. Now I got them. Very happy. Thank you for watching my toy review. This is a toy review where every toy has a story.
Autobots, transform!